Yeah, good morning, everyone. You're welcome again to, sorry for that. You're welcome again to another marriage section. God bless you. I was the week. And happy new month. I was the weekend. Happy new month. You're welcome to Tuesday. And I pray that the Lord's blessing rest upon us and our families in the name of Jesus. Today we have a topic, the effect of trauma on married spouse. I saw a post by Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo and on the tattoo, and I've seen a lot of people's response. I've seen a lot of disapproval. I've seen a lot of people's comment, the expression, the rejection, the betrayal, this and that. Do you know this issue about Pastor Kingsley's tattoo issue? Even though it's 316 that, I think it's 316 that he tattooed on his arm, and a lot of people will get traumatized because of this. You see, a lot of people will bring out their anger. I've seen a lot of people's posts, and I was like, oh my, it's not your hand, it's not your family, and if I want to say it's not your pastor, how well can this get so much to you? I've seen a lot of people also backing it up. I've seen a lot of responses, and I was like, this thing will cause a trauma for some people, especially people who are not able to perceive or to actively just let it go. We just keep thinking about it. The end is near. When pastors can do this, this and that. So bringing this issue, I'm just laying it as a foundation, bringing it and looking at so many things that we all go through while we are growing up. A lot of things could cause trauma. The way we are raised up, our upbringing, the environment in which we are raised up. I have a woman that, she clocked 50 years last year, even though she wasn't looking like 50 years. So when I went to her birthday party, she's someone that honors me a lot, mama. So when I went to her birthday party last year, I was surprised when she said she grew up in this particular place in Lagos. I said, Alabajo, no wonder that the way she vibes, the way she behaves like a man, the way she does her things, the way she talks, and she's fearless, this and that. When she's talking, you will see. When she's walking, it shows on her. Everything about her is always going. I said, mama, they calm down. Say, mama, hey. Even when she's praying, you will see it on her. When she's praying, she's always I say, When she now said it on her birthday, that she grew up in a particular place in Lagos, I said, Alabajo. What is trauma? Let's pray. Father, we commit ourselves unto your hands as married people. We pray, even as people in relationship, as singles, that you give us the grace to understand what is trauma, the effect of trauma on our homes, on our marriages and our relationships, and give us the grace to heal in the name of Jesus. Thank you, King of Glory. In Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed. Amen. Mama, you are welcome. I celebrate you. Thank you for joining. I'm there with me. God bless you. Thank you, ma'am. So, what is trauma? Trauma is an unresolved emotional wound. It is something negative. It is an happening, an occurrence. We cannot call it an accident, but we can call it a life drama. Something that you are involved in, or that is passed to you, or that concerns you. Maybe, a situation in the family, between you and your dad, between you and your mom, between you and your siblings, between you and your neighbors, between you and your church members, between you and your boss. It is an happening of life that has to do with the emotional aspect of your life, and that caused a painful experience. That is trauma. It's something negative. And oftentimes, majority of us have a lot of experiences while we are growing up, depending on the environment, the kind of community we grew up with, and depending on the kind of people, depending on the kind of church. Yes, I've seen people that church traumatized. I was with a sister December, and I was discussing with her, and she was telling me how our pastor traumatized her. How the pastor was trying to monochrome her, so much so that pastor is the one that would tell her the limits she can go, and the pastor has so much brainwashed her, so much so that she has lost her self-worth and self-esteem, because the pastor wants to personalize her, or do not want her to leave the ministry. So she has a form of fear, a form of confusion in her spirit. Her soul is crushed, and she began to walk and move. She lost all her self-esteem. She lost the dreams she had, until later on she left the church. So a church, a pastor, an association, a friendship, relationship can cause a traumatic effect on us. The kind of school we went to, the kind of friends we have, a lot of things could cause trauma. Another thing that can cause trauma is childhood neglect. Maybe you are neglected as a child, or a child rape, and either childhood rape or adult rape, whatever kind of rape, no matter the age difference or the age gap, a childhood neglect. Maybe your father neglected you, or your mother abandoned you, a kind of abuse, the kind of rejection. When a boy or a father or a man impregnated a woman, and he refused to take responsibility, and the mother will raise the child or the children. When a husband, a father refused to take responsibility, a lot of things. Then we have divorce. A lot of times we have seen how we can navigate divorce process, how we can navigate the aftermath of divorce and manage it, and try to see how we can, reduce the effect of divorce on the children, even on the spouses. Divorce too can cause trauma, infidelity, violence. We have a domestic violence. A lot of things can cause trauma. Even church relationship too can cause trauma, when you have expected your pastor to do something and he just disappointed you, and just like, can pastor do this to me? So a lot of things can cause trauma. Then we have loss. We have people who have lost their mothers, lost their fathers, lost their jobs because of a lie by another colleague or by the boss himself, because of a lie, because of disappointment. So a lot of things can cause trauma. Poverty too can cause trauma. A woman was telling me last month, she was telling me that when she was young, whenever there's no food for her to eat, when she goes to school and other children are eating, she'll be opening her cooler and be closing it. She'll be opening her cooler and be closing it, because there's no food there, and there's no hope of any food. And do you know, she now told us that when she gets home, the palm oil that her mother left for her to cook for the whole time, she will now raise it up like this and drink. So there are times that it is palm oil that she's going to drink as food. When she was telling me that story, I was like, stop, don't say it again. I've never had it before. So she would drink that palm oil, and she said the intestine, what is the name of what is the English of I don't know now. She said the worms, everything will just be clinging onto that oil, and she'll be hearing sounds in her stomach. We were two listening to her. I was like, oh Jesus. She said she knew first-hand poverty. She knew first-hand hunger. That I was now asking her, say, how will the taste of the palm oil be in your body? How will it? He said, that even that I have something to fill my stomach, that I'm not even thinking about the taste of the palm oil. I was like, so you would drink? Say yes. That 75 cl bottle, that she can drink it up to the half, she'll now rest. When I heard that, I was like, so she said, so whenever, even if a child should forget food at home, that she will get to school, because she knew the effect of hunger when she was growing up. So that kind of experience caused her to hate hunger. So whenever the children are saying, one day she was crying, I was like, what happened? She said, she was saying that her daughter went to lesson instead of her father to give her money to eat. She did not give her money to eat. That child, when Nana gave her food, she was eating like somebody who has not eaten. So that thing brought an emotions to her because of our own experience. So we have prolonged fear and shame. There are husbands, there are spouses that they have done WAEC, JAMB. No, during my own time, when somebody failed, whenever somebody failed WAEC or JAMB, they will begin to say, what if they will have used your money to plant flower? So they only say, Alpha JAMB, they have used the money to plant flower. So that's a way of telling somebody. So we have people who have failed repeated. There are people that are writing ICANN exams, this ITLS exam, and they keep failing. Failure in an academic setting can cause trauma. When you keep failing, or people that has health issue can also cause trauma. When you have a prolonged health issue, then you begin to hear some spouses say, are you the only one? You're always sick. You see some wives too will tell their husband, are you the only one? You have graduated since 10 years ago. You have not gotten a job. Are you the only one? Something must be wrong with your destiny, or something must be wrong with your star. A lot of things like this causes trauma. And from teachers to pupils, you see pupils who have grown up. A pastor was telling us one day, he said his teacher when he was in primary school would tell him that he cannot amount to anything. And that's to teachers, because you are an authority figure. You are an authority figure on those pupils. And in case you don't know, there is a woman. When I was growing up, I was in primary school. The name of the woman is Mrs. Ige. I can still remember the name of her child, of her daughter. The name of the woman is Mrs. I was in primary school, primary 1. We were 46 in the class, but because this woman has an issue with my mom do sell fabrics. I don't know the issue they have with my mom because of payment or no payment. I don't know. When the result came out, for my primary 1 report card, my mother saw that we are 45 in the class. Then in public school we are always very, we are always very many, and so we can be 45. So in that primary 1, we were 45, and the woman wrote it there that my position is 46. So my mom had to follow me to school. Remember how old I was there? I think I was 7 years old then. By God's grace, I'll be 45 this year. Remove 7 from 45. For you to know what the past experience that I still remembered, and even remember the name of the woman. Do you understand what I'm saying? Even remember the name of the woman. Now, this woman, when my mom followed me to school and she wanted to know why out of 45 students you said my daughter scored 46, took 46th position. That was how my mother had to follow up my report card, and discovered later on when they brought out the there's a broadsheet then that looks like wrapper that they used to write all the, it's not like nowadays that we have laptops and systems, that they used to write this report card something. So there was this broad white sheet that looks like wrapper, and they would write all the names of the pupils there and their result and everything. At the end of the day, when I got to that sheet, was when they realized that I was the second position. That was the second position, and the woman said that I took 46th position. If my mother did not know my capacity then at home, and felt something is suspicious, and did not even check my report card, or is not even sensitive enough to see 46th and 45th, will have just taken it as, Olodo nye, you are Olodo, oh Kawedada, this and that. Now, if I could still remember what happened when I was 7 years old, now imagine what happened last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So these are the things that can cause from my experience of the past, offense of another person that was linked to us. Do you understand what I'm saying? So health issue can be a trauma. Health issue can be a trauma. A lot of things can cause it. A lot of things can cause it. And do you know, the Bible says in Proverbs 18 verse 14, it says, the spirit of a man will sustain him. He said, but a wounded spirit, who can bear? Now, I've given us, Pastor Dapo, you're welcome, please. I don't want to let me, since we have already done a video on this, so, but I want us to dwell more on it since it's a live program. So now imagine all this that laid down as trauma, as the causes of trauma, or the trauma effects that can come. Now, there are people that they have been trusting the Lord, they have miscarriage upon miscarriage upon miscarriage upon miscarriage, and you also will be thinking, I am beginning to suspect this woman. Maybe actually she does not want to have a child. And before you know it, you will have gone to a pastor or to a prophet. You know, now prophets, they reign now. Our prophets in Jangon Lasikoyi. Because we have ignorant Christians, we have ignorant brothers and sisters of God. We have ignorant men, ignorant women. So prophets in Jangon Lasikoyi. Then they reign. And you're already thinking. Maybe whenever you ask her, sweetheart, what do you think about this, our not having a child? And the wife will just respond, I put everything in God's hands. I just know that the Lord will undo everything. And you are like, I know that's what she will say. This is the 5th miscarriage. And she just took it just like that. If she really wanted to give me a child, she wouldn't have responded like that. There's a woman around my community then. That was how she did. Until she left that man and went to go and marry another woman. I'm very sure, I'm very confident. This woman does not want to give me a child. When you begin to pick up people's response, and you know, a lot of things like that, you will begin to see, LS, you're welcome, sir, thank you. You will begin to feel that you are the only one that is innocent, you are the only one that is good. You begin to suspect people around you. When you are highly suspicious, you are suffering from a trauma, a traumatic past. When you are always, thank you, sir, when you are always suspecting people, when you are always negative, you are always negative. Somebody was telling me one day that there is no any if you get to my complex today, I have a big where I am in my shop, we have a big complex, we have outlets there and there, we have a big complex. So there are times when I want to do some things. There are times people will come and say, they will be shouting my name. I mean, they will be shouting me, Mommy Gio, Bolewo, Mommy Gio, where did you enter? Mommy Gio, because there is no way I cannot enter. Not because I'm prognosing or something, but because I have a good relationship with people around me. So there are people that cannot relate with people around them. They are always suspecting people. That woman that is always looking at me, I am very confident. She's looking at my shoe. She's looking at my hair. She's looking at... When you are always very conscious of what people are thinking, how people are looking at you, yeah, it's because of your bum, it's because of you have not given birth, it's because your child is sick, it's because your face is somehow, it's because of this, it's because of that. When you're always conscious of it, it can be as a result of the trauma of the past. There are people too who you will see that they don't trust. Trusting is like, no, I cannot trust my wife. I cannot trust my husband. Like, you are always guarding up. You are the police of your life. Even if your wife should touch your phone, why did you touch my phone? Why did they touch my phone? If your phone should ring in the toilet, aside that you have skeleton in your cupboard, why did they touch my phone? That was how something. You're always linking it to the past. You're always linking it. You know, those are results of a traumatic past. There are wives that their father neglected them, rejected them. I was speaking with a young lady that her father, despite having money, did not train them in school. She said, my father has no naira account on me. And it's not that she's poor. Financial incapacity or financial, or let me say lack, is not an evidence of irresponsibility. A father might not have money, as in big money. A father might be able to afford 1,000 naira per month, but he will let you know, my daughter, my son, this is what I can afford. And you will see the love, you will see the exception. You will see how some fathers will say, oh, come in. I know it won't continue like this. It will continue like this, but this is 1,000 that I can afford this month. And the cocoa that I did, and we have to pay for Kiniko, and the money 1,000 naira per month. You say, is that money? It is money, because that money added with love is something for a child that is accepted by a father, or for a child that is accepted by his father. So you begin to, Daddy, don't worry. I too will face my education, will face my studies. I know the Lord will help me, will bless me. I'm also doing some side businesses. You to be praying for me. And you will see how not having enough. You cannot say that, is it that a man is unwilling or incapable? There's difference. So money is not the only way that we can use to say a man is responsible. There are men who are not financially buoyant, but they have that capacity of responsibility. They begin to tell their child, I know I'm supposed to send, sorry for the Yoruba, but I know I'm supposed to send money to you, but I'm very rich. But I trust God that next week I will send something. By the time the father will send money, 2,000 naira, you begin to wonder. So this is the amount of money that your father wants to send, and he has been since last month. 60,000 naira, 60,000. Baba wa paru 2,000 naira. By the time you even go to POS, they remove 100 naira. That's 1,900 naira. Money is not everything. I love when I see men, father, who have a responsible mind, and not only responsible pocket. Because there are fathers who will just send money to their children. If there are some men that if God should just remove money from their status, they are empty. They cannot provide emotional support for the family. They cannot provide any psychological support. They cannot provide anything. So it is only money that you are sending that makes you a father figure. That makes you a father. There are wives that they are the ones that raised up children, and by the time they are raising their own daughters, they raise them to be toxic. They raise them to be strong with negative energy. I did my study on African women, and I discovered that most African women that are progressing, that are making waves, most of them have negative energy. A lady told her mother, she said, every one of us that traveled out, that came from Nigeria, either they traveled to UK or to Canada, that all my friends, as soon as they are entering a new that they are entering that state, they are entering a new country like that, the first thing they do is to go for therapy. That's the first thing they do, to go for what? Therapy. She said, Mommy, when I entered Canada, I first went for therapy because I was traumatized under you. And the mother was like, Tori Olorun, were you traumatized under me? He said, your words are like armor. Your words, you compare me with my siblings over and over because I did not do what? Because I did not study science. You traumatize me. You make me feel less. You make me do that. The mother was saying, no, the mother said that she was crying when the daughter was talking with her, was speaking with her, that she was crying. There are mothers that because your child is slender or slim, begin to say, Ori, and you eat. Upon the eating now, broom ni, be chubby, so that when people see you, they will be able to say thank you to me. There are wives that since the husband married them, they are just like broom. When you know you want orobo, when you know you want fikale. When you know you want a plus size, why did you marry Lekpa? Why did you marry Lekpa? There are husbands that will complain. How many children? How many children have you given birth to? How many children? You just gave birth to 2 children, and you're already. Why? Before, some people will make jest of me when I was still, when I was still nursing babies, because I look like I look like, oh, and I begin to say, these words we say as spouses, as parents, as teachers, as pastors, we must change it. There are times before I will hear some of my church members, then they will be some of my church mommies, then they will say, Bumi, ọkùnrin ò like ẹni tó sanra, ọkùnrin ò like ẹni tó sanra, reason tí ó ṣe tètè ní kíní kan ni. I was 28 years old. By that time, I started my masters. Yes, I've started my masters. And you keep telling me, ọkùnrin ò like ẹni tó sanra. In fact, when I was at Lautech for my first degree, there was a woman that was selling lime. She has a tree, a grandmother. She has a tree in her house. I was one that bought all the lime on her tree. Lime and honey. They said I should do this tread me, not tread me. There's one that you will put your leg inside, then you begin to do like this. You begin to do like this. You begin to do like this. I did that one. My brother said, your shoulder is getting wider, your hip is getting thinner. Hey, I said, God, I tried all. They said you should not take this, I should not take that. Just keep it up, do everything. As God will have it, when my husband came, because of what? Because they have shifted my mind to my stature. So the first thing when I was serious, when I knew that okay, this one is serious, and this, the first thing your Bible said to me, you see my size. In fact, I showed him my leg. I said, show me money. I said, do you see my leg? Do you see my stomach? Do you see my this thing? Funny enough, he just said, I never wanted. My husband is, when you see him, just like a giant. He's tall. He looks like a giant. But he said, I never wanted a lady who is tall. My height, I don't want. And I don't want a leper lady. I want Orobo. Someone that when she's coming, I'll say, that's my wife. So there are things we do that causes trauma for people. You have not married. You have not given birth. You have not gotten a job. You don't. When they see people going to library, always going to library. When is it book that we turn to money? You see somebody that is farming, as a graduate, that's what he's doing. Our words, we have made the community toxic for some people. When some people are passing, you begin to say, Monica, I said you should not be answering that woman again whenever she greets you. They said her husband left her and her child died. That means she's a witch. We are the ones that causes trauma for others. You are the boss in the office, your marriage is not working. So whenever you get to the office, you begin to do lion of the tribe of the office. And you see another woman who is also coming from a place that she's praying. That God help me. I say, why did you come late to work? Sir, my house to the junction will take me like 30 minutes and I left house 7 o'clock. So you left at 7 o'clock? You must be stupid. You must be wicked. You are mad. And that woman will go to a corner and say, Lord, if I have a car, if my husband has not sold her car, if what happened to my husband, and she'll begin to think. Our words, our expressions, our body language. We do this very well in church. You begin to talk. Combination yellow over blue. You begin to laugh. The lady that wore yellow over blue, do you know what happened? You don't even know what she's going through. We see people, you begin to say, yeah, want to gba woman I am. You see somebody who is slim, then you begin to tell each other, I have said it. How can somebody's bum be small like this? Are you not supposed to know that she cannot give birth? Sheba was telling you when our brother was marrying that lady, I was telling you that her leg is not good. See her bum, see her leg, see her bum small like this. How will a child be able to stay? A lot of things we have turned to toxic professor. We have turned to toxicity professor. Our words, body shaming people. You are not the God that created somebody. Who told you that if somebody is fat, they cannot give birth? You say, when my brother married that auntie, I know there is an issue. She was fat like that. She could not get a husband. My brother now saw, out of all the women, five babes, now my brother now saw I'm not married. She has used her fat, the fat in her stomach, as cover the babies. That's why. You are the one that knows the alpha. You are the alpha and the omega of people's. That's why we see some husbands and wives. These are the traumas they grew up with. And they entered marriage. And the husband or the wife is now the what? Is now the one that will be feeling the effects. There are words. That pastor said, he said, my teacher when I was in primary school told me I cannot amount to anything. And he used to call him black, I think, black chimpanzee. Is it gorilla? Maybe gorilla. He said black because when you look at, when you, yes, it has become witchcraft. There are people that you will never look at yourself. You know, a lot of people that are toxic, a lot of people that body shame people, they are not happy because it's out of the abundance of your heart that you speak. A lady was telling me when they said, Mama, you just, somebody will bring case to you, you just bring it down like that. I said, yes, it will come down. Life will not continue like that. And one day, a sister, one of us, we were sharing some things, and I told her, I said, I'm going through some issues. And when I just shared a little with her, she left, and when she started holding me, said, Mama, Mama, we are selfish. That we do not even think that you are also a human being. Every time we always come to you, and you always help us. And I told her, I said, I only shared it with you so that you will know some experiences of life. And she was like, Mama, talk to me. I said, I'm fine. She said, no, you are not fine. Talk to me. She was holding me, Mama, talk. I said, I'm fine. We are not the only ones. We are not the only ones going through issues. We should not be the ones that will add to another person's issue. Another person should not be sad or should not. Another person should not be thinking or feel bad because of your words. We should stop doing evil for evil. We should stop doing tit for tat. That is why those are the background, those are the kind of nature, environment, and nurture that some husbands and wives grew up from. And they now married. There are wives that even if your husband is just looking at you from head to toe, you are already thinking, I know he wants to complain that I'm losing shape. Have you asked him before you start assuming? Why not ask him? Hello, babe. You are looking at me. For somebody like has a husband like mine, you might be mistaken. He might tell you, I'm not looking at you. I'm thinking. He might tell you, I'm looking at this clothes. And he might tell you, there are times I'll go to my husband, is this clothes, is it not too tight, too revealing or something? You say, it's fine. It's because you are not that tall. That's why you are thinking it's short. It will just, that's what you say. There are people that even when your wife holds your phone, some husband go, I'm very sure. I'm very sure. I'm very sure she's looking for the message or she's looking for my account. Who told you it's your account that she's looking for? Who told you it's your account? Even those are women used to look for their husband's account. Even those are women used to do it. When people are looking at you, you're already thinking. A woman told me one day, he said, you are the one that told, I know when I came in and I saw you there. She was talking to me. He said, I know you are discussing about me. I felt insulted. I said, me? Discuss you? She even said, I know. Your younger sister used to greet me very well before. Now she's not greeting me very well. I said, hey? Me? I'm my younger sister. So you see how the environment she grew up with. Maybe some people that grew up from, maybe a community where they have so much relationship and interactions, and you begin to see this fight, and this one gossip about me, this one. One of the things I don't like about our culture, maybe because I grew up with 4 brothers in front of me, and they say, what? If you don't want people to talk about you, please. Yeah. No, in fact, the person went on again, they are still addressing an issue. They are still stressing an issue. Stressing an issue. Seriously. They are still stressing an issue. Somebody went on die. I'm later say somebody way their life. It is for people to talk. Don't mind what people say. The person where they talk is pot calling kettle black. When I say pot calling kettle what? Black. Now let's go to how past trauma shows up in marriage. There are husbands that they are the ones that will go to the market. He will even tell you, when I come back, you tell him, hello honey, send over now, send money so that I can go to the market. When I come back, I will buy what I want to buy. What is the difference between if you go and never go? I know what I'm saying, you. I know what I'm saying. Tell me, yemio. Before you know it, you will have aggravated the issue. You can even pick on and call your mother. Hello, ma. Hello, mommy. Ejo, eba mi woni ya womi. Oh, pomo. Lema ekpo. Kilo de no shebi kitiro jasileni. Mo den mama wale ni weekend. And the wife will be like, what did I do? So, effect of trauma, when you are somebody that a simple thing will happen like this, you're already calling. Or you have the urge to report. You are already reporting. You are suffering from a traumatic past. Or you're a woman, you like comparing. When your husband buys a shirt. There was a time my husband bought some clothes, and I saw it in his wardrobe. I was not like, sweetheart, when did you buy all this? So he was saying, he bought it from this person. I said, oh, okay, from her. And why are you not wearing it? She was like, it was sure not free to, wear it. I was not like, be wearing it now. You need new shirts. You need it. You need new polos. You need new shirts. That was when I was not like, I now went to her and said, why were you reluctant? He said, so that you not be thinking that, no. I said, even myself as it were, I'm already thinking about it, that you need new shirts, you need new polos, you need this, you need that, So there are times that you just ask questions. There are times that you don't assume. When you love assuming a lot, you love silent treatment. It's because our own mommy does not have money. That's why, it's because I did not go to a private university. That's why you like assuming. And you like living in a silent... Do your own, make I do my own. I don't want any wahala. When you don't like relating with people. Do you know that relating with people is part of the benefit of marriage? Relating with people is part of benefit of marriage. Do your own, like my. Some people have neighbors. Even when it's raining, you cannot call your neighbor and say, hello ma, are you at home? There was a time when we were still living at a place. Whenever it's raining, because most times if I don't go out, I'm at home. Then I don't have a shop, so most of my businesses I do from home. So most times, if I have a place where I'm learning how to make hair, so if I don't go there, I'll just be at home. To see my neighbor will like, hello, ma. Hey, Joma, are you at home? Say yes, please, ma, hey, Jo. Please say, Emma Binu, Jo, Emma Mika. One of the reasons why you need to preserve the relationship of people around you is because it is for your own benefit. Though we have some people that they are toxic neighbors. They are toxic neighbors. I know a woman like that. Then they are toxic neighbors that it's better you just let them be. There are people like that. They're just Ekarama. Yes, ma. Ekarasa. It's okay like that. Any further thing like this, you're already in trouble with them. So now let's look at how past trauma shows up in marriage. Number one is emotional withdrawal. There are spouses that don't want to be loved. And they don't want to show love. When you're already moving close to them, how are you? How's everything? They're already defensive. They're already thinking, why is she asking me this and this? Why? You're already defensive. You're already thinking it must have a reason. Whereas that's part of what the Bible tells us to do. To do what? So if you read with different versions of the scripture, the book of Philippians, Ephesians, 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, you will see that the congregation of the community, those small churches are like families. They are like families that agree together. When they don't see you a day, they'll come and hope there's no problem. When they don't see you in church, they will come. We didn't see you in church. They are like family holding each other's hands, going to heaven. You know, they are not as many as we are now. So they are like families holding each other. If somebody does not have, they will give. What do you have? Oh yeah, give. And you have 2 clothes? Oh yeah, give 1 half. Nobody asks beyond anybody. If you have, that's God's blessing. You release it. If you have, you release it. So that's how they grew, like one body. Unlike what we have now, that we don't even understand. We don't even understand anymore. Sorry. We don't even understand anymore. So, emotional withdrawal. You see some people, once they come to church and a sister look at them, something like, they withdraw from church. There's people that they love withdrawing from their spouse. They love withdrawing from their spouse. They love withdrawing from family. They love withdrawing from church. They love withdrawing from community. They are just, whenever you always feel like isolating yourself, you are suffering from trauma. You are suffering from trauma. So how will that emotional withdrawal, express itself? People that find it difficult to express love. Now Valentine they come now. You begin to hear a lot of people who say Valentine is not scriptural, it's not biblical. Leave Valentine, show love. Leave Valentine alone, show love. You see some wives throughout last year, not a pen, not one agbado, not one sweet, not one card. It is nowadays that love has turned to another thing. That we begin to love with mouth. You begin to love. I was asking, my heart knows that I love my wife. Alias liar. My heart, is it in your heart? Check out so that we'll be able to know that you love your wife. When you love someone, you must express it. The the value of love is when it is expressed. When you read the book of Philippians, I was when you say I was downloading Philippians using the Good News version, I saw that the letter that Apostle Paul wrote, that's what we discussed 2 weeks ago, wrote to the Philippi church, is like a letter from a lover to the wife. Though Apostle Paul did not marry, but the church was his wife. The way he wrote, said, I'm always thinking about you. He expressed his love to them, from apostle to church in here, apostle to church. He expressed his love to them. Love without expression. Those that find, you see some people will say, some men don't know how to express. Most of African men are suffering from traumatic experience. Maybe because they have not seen their father express love to them or to their mother. Maybe they did not grow up in an environment of love. And there are people that grew up from a polygamous family. There are people that grew up from a polygamous family, or from a family where the father divorced the mother, or there is neglect or rejection. There is a kind of growth. The environment you grow up with will always affect. So there are people that don't want to show love because they feel love will make them weak, or love will make them vulnerable. So they don't want to show love. So when you are even coming as a husband to them to show them love, and my wife, I love you, because say what you want to say. When you talk them alone, every time you just be doing like musu. Trauma. What? Let us search our past. Trauma effect. There are bosses that when you begin to say, Oga, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for all you did for me. It is when I joined your company that I learned how to do this, how to do that. My life has progressed fast. Thank you. You are the one. Especially if it's a woman, you might begin to think, I hope this guy is not having interest in me. You begin to assume and be suspicious. You begin to assume and be suspicious. When you find it difficult to express love and to accept love on a neutral level, you're always thinking. Especially we do it when we see a man and a woman together talking. That man that always come. You pick the call. Hello, sir. Emma, be monitoring your wife. There's a man that used to come to our complex every day. He used to come. Please, I am suspecting the way they used to. Did they used to hold hands? Do you hear what they say? No, I did not see them hold hands or do anything. In fact, by 4:30 he will go. There is a man that used to pick your wife every day, going to school and coming back. Monitor your wife, sir. Then you begin to hear a lot of things. Although there are spouses that give reasons to be suspected. Yes, there are spouses that gives reasons to be suspected. There are spouses that your wife does not know your wife does not know your password. Your wife does not know the information she needs to know about you. A lot of things. You are on secret calls. You are on calls your wife do not know. You are on, a lot of things. I'm not talking about men or women who don't have boundary, who are not principled. I have some issues with African. I don't want to say African men, so that men will not think that I'm coming after them. But I am looking at a situation and it's scaring me. African women are having negative energy, and that is what is propelling them into being successful. Hey, I'm a young girl, so I may not be able to talk more on that. But I've seen some things that you see women who are growing, who are successful but have negative energy, and it is trauma. Trauma from the husband. How a husband will tell his wife, you cannot amount to anything. Without me, you are nothing. You are useless. A woman spoke to me one day and said, my husband said I'm useless. And she carried that for years. A 40+ old woman. And she had dreams she wanted to fulfill. She could not fulfill them until later on, just to, God. Now we do ourselves. Yes, devil is real. Battles are real. But there are times that the things where we do because of our character fault. Now in plenty. So when you find it difficult to express love and accept love is as a result of trauma response. Then we have people that they cannot converse verbally. Husbands that if your wife should call you, sit, I want to I need to express my mind. You're already defensive. And sit that. Please, I don't want any wala. Please, I want to sleep. What happens to what she wants to discuss? There are husbands that we wake up their wives in the middle of the night. Hello, babe, sit down. I want us to talk on the issue of the salary. Please. Tell me, I know what I'm talking about. I just want to sleep. I don't want any problem. You just sleep. So your guy that is talking to you is a stupid person. So your drama. I told you, women that love drama, come and join me. Let's do drama. Come and join me. Let's produce more movies. Produce more movies, man. So all the that you have done now, with that thing removed, maybe he just wanted to ask you a question and to remove the assumption. Maybe he's seen that you are necessarily close to your boss, and he just wanted to ask you. I saw a chat on your phone. I saw a transaction. But we have decided this to just talk. When to talk and dialogue, to converse. When it's difficult for you, you are having trauma challenge. You are doing what you are having. That's a trauma response. That means you have a trauma that you have not healed. When it's difficult for you to converse with your spouse, when it's difficult for you to be accountable, your husband is asking you, but you just collected salary. What happened? I used 100,000 for food stuff. Oh, she food stuff. You want to buy any? I hope you want. This and this. I want the children. They will eat 1 Congo in 2 days. So I had to buy 3.5 Congos. Oh, okay. Then beans too. Okay. Then okay. I'm sorry. I don't know. Is that? Can that cause a fight? You cannot sit down as a wife and your husband will ask you, how did you spend your 100,000 naira? Kilode, how much did you give me? You gave me 100,000 naira. Go and check what Mr. Dewale is giving his wife. 200,000 naira in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. And you begin to shout and you begin to run you. At the end of the day, you have professionally told us as a counselor they are suffering from trauma past, from the past of the from trauma of the past, and it's a trauma response. What do I call it? It's a trauma. So there are a lot of behaviors that you see husband and wife exhibiting. No be them. It's as a result of their past. So, and when you keep up with this and you do not go for counseling or for therapy, you will live in your past, yet living presently. And you'll be affecting your husband and your wife. And they will grow up being toxic too, because what you are also doing to your spouse will cause him or her trauma. And at old age, you collect your SATI, collect your report card. So that's why we should sit down as spouse. Think, who can evaluate a spouse? A wife should be the one to evaluate the husband. If you ask your wife, I listened to a video today by this girl kan báyìí ló wà lórí Facebook, Bùnmi Ọ̀yágbélé. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa trauma something like this. Do you think mama overreact? I'm sorry, sir. Give me examples. She will give you examples. Do you think I don't like to be loved? There are husbands that once you just send a message, hello sweetheart, I just want to say, hope you are fine, hope you are fine. You begin to hear, it is well. I express love to you. I told you that I love you. Can't you say no? He will not say I love you back. Or you see husbands that don't like they don't like maybe gatherings, they don't like parties, they don't like where people are. It's a trauma response. When they do family killing, say which was the meaning of birthday, what's the meaning of birthday, they take birthday. I have someone that they will always do birthdays for their children, and I love it. Because that's where the husband grew up. But the wife did not grow up that way. I love it. When somebody has the ability and the money to celebrate their children's birthday, either they call you or not, you say, oh, see this one. They are always celebrating birthdays as if they don't have what to use money for. And they have not bought a cow. And they have not finished their house. So, if celebrating their children's birthday will give them joy, allow them to celebrate in peace. Your own not celebrating or that hate celebration. There are spouses that hate celebration. When you begin to say, I want to celebrate your 40th birthday, a husband that tells you, I want to celebrate your 40th birthday for you, and the wife is like, if you don't have what to use your money for, go and use it for another thing. I did not send you to do celebration. Why? Trauma of the past. There are spouses that don't like being celebrated. You move close to them, you hug them, you say, I was going. They are uncomfortable. Whenever you are not comfortable with the affection, with empathy, with affection, you are not strong. You are weak. Weak. So, we have spouses shutting down during conflicts. Allow your spouse, allow your wife or your husband to express themselves. Answer the question they are asking. If you cannot answer the question, then you are suffering from traumatic past. You are skeleton in your cupboard. You must be accountable. You must be transparent. You must be able to answer questions being asked you. You know, there are people that will say, I've had a lot of sote in marriages. And I have a lot of rejections about those mites, those things. And some people will say, when they say, if ọ̀rọ̀ tútù ó máa ń yọ ọ̀rọ̀ tútù máa ń yọ obì lápò, àbí ọ̀rọ̀ kìíní kan náà máa ń yọ obì lápò. There are wives that even if you call her in the middle of the night and say, honey, I want to discuss something with you. It's about the master's program that I want to do. Hey, wait, she will flare up. So don't say, and there are husbands too. If you just stay on me, I have something bothering you. You see, I'll be feeling this thing in my this. I beg you in the name of God. You will not even allow her to finish. Or some husband will wait till she finishes. I know that you are possessed. Something is wrong with your stomach, or something is wrong with your breast. Now that I collected the loan money, already yé mi. O lè bà tèmi jẹ́. Torí pé o ti rí pé mo tún ti gbowó loan báyà bí. Kíní yẹn tún ti nǹkan kan tún ti share. Even if it's truthful that anytime you collect loan, something will happen to your wife or to your child. Call your wife. I am thinking about this thing. I don't know if it's a coincidence or, but I don't want us to take it for granted. Let's pray about it. If you need to involve your pastor, and pray the prayer of agreement. But some husbands, they'll begin to say, I tell your money, she's a witch. She's a witch. Why is it now that I collected loan that she's sick? You know, they told me that the mother too used to fly. I want flying eagles. You know, there are a lot of mothers now that children have turned to flying eagles. There are a lot of wives that husbands have turned to flying eagles. There are a lot of husbands that wives have turned to flying eagles. Only mama, that train up your husband. They have turned them to flying eagle. Even if mama is a flying eagle, there are ways you do it. There are ways you do it. Even if mama is a flying eagle, there are ways you do it. Even your wife's thank you, mama. Even if your wife's mother is a flying eagle, there are ways you do it now. There are ways you do it. You will not just spoil the relationship and spoil it as if there's no coming back to that door. I pray that the Lord will help us in this. There are spouses that do silent treatment. Those are the expressions of if your spouse has traumatic past or is under trauma experience. Now, we are just talking about the emotional withdrawal. And emotional withdrawal can, express itself through difficulty in expressing love or accepting love, shutting down during conflict, and silent treatment. You see, wives that will not express themselves. When I first got married, one of the things my husband saw is that I will express myself. Even though he will keep quiet, I will express myself. Until I learned to use a good approach. I will ask questions, then I will say, I will now express my mind. Then I will now I will now say, if I did this to you, I know you will not like it, but you are repeating it over and over again. That means it's not a mistake, it's a choice. Using a good approach does not make a husband or a wife that is under trauma or still undergoing trauma or still living in the past world of trauma to respond well. There are wives that will kneel down to tell the husband, hey, my husband, please, about this, about that, I need your help. I want you to follow me, and this and this. The husband will just stand up, leave her on the kneeling down, and just go. Silent treatment. You see husbands that will reject food, that will deny the wife sex. When I see some people, when they come for counseling, I will just be laughing. I say, you don't have issue. The devil is not after you. The devil is not. You hear this song by Ayola Oba, I don't hear wetin the devil talk. He's thinking the devil is not after everybody. There are things we do in marriage that we say it is the devil. By our hands. Now they do each other. When you leave a woman that came to you, knelt down and we say use good approach. She used good approach. Woke you up, or even before you sleep. There are husbands that will not pray with their wives again because they will just use silent treatment. Because of the children, they will just say, children, how are you? Fine. How was school today? Fine. Just dash to their. You have eaten outside before you came home. You have eaten outside before you came home. Oti yabuka, bukateria or cafeteria or itiriteria. Oti yabe oti jai le. Just because you know you don't want to engage your wife because of money. Children, how are you? Fine. How was school today? Fine. Hope you are okay. Fine. Just enter your room. Just bathe. Just put earpiece in your hair. Or just be scrolling Facebook. You are a boy. Boy, man. I don't want to look as if I'm coming after African men. Boy, man. Because I realize that when I see an educated person that's an African man, I don't greet you on that realm of your education. Because I see that most of African men, I know somebody will come after me now. Most that I've met, education, their minds are not educated. when you talk about the pursuit for money. But when you talk about the deep concept of marital knowledge and the way a man will beat his wife and will say, "Inulo be me," and will still say, "Oh no, she knows that when I'm angry." As some people will be a professor, a doctor, having a doctor in the academics, or be a medical doctor, even a pastor. Then you begin to say, somebody said, but the person is learned, is lettering. Leave lettering and learning. Leave lettering and learning. Education is a separate word when it comes to the behavior, the humanitarian behavior of some people. Silent treatment does not solve any issues. When you are using silent treatment with your wife at home, how would she be able to know what is on your mind? How would issues be solved? Conflict resolution does not thrive on silent treatment. There are wives that they will not fight their husband. They will even be singing. I know you are waiting there will talk. Children, that is when she will carry the child and snap it. Just to do shakara and to do fori for the husband. You are not matured at all. One of the things that shows the evidence of maturity is dialogue. Talk. Ask questions. When you zero and you erase assumptions, you clear the air, then you move. You're on one page, then you move. A lot of spouses need to go for therapy, mental checkup, therapy. A lot of women have raised up their daughters to be timid, to have low self-esteem, to know a lot of things, and you have this your daughter will now marry a man who is productive, who is prospering. Look at this guy. I mention his name. I saw one guy that is a comedian. It's not a comedian. What do they call them? Yeah, it's not a comedian, but I've forgotten. Before he used to do, he was one that used to do his thing on social media. But now I've been seeing his wife. That one will wear one trouser inside, wear another one, and be doing like this. I don't want to mention names. I was like, eventually this man has colonized this woman. Why? Because that is who the husband is. Even their daughter is also doing it. Even the daughter is also doing this thing. A small girl that they have introduced to their world. Why? Because that is who the husband is. The wife too has catch up with him. The wife too is also in that area. The daughter too is also in that area. Even their grandma, she brought the wife's mother, content creators, thank you. She brought the wife's mother and his own mother to come and do content and say, this boy you don't enter another thing. The whole family. Why? Because that is who he is. So let's grow up our children, our daughters, our boys. Let's grow them up with honor. And let's find a way to check trauma around them. Trauma around them. May the Lord help us in Jesus' name. You know that Hosea 4:6 says that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. The marital knowledge that we need is not what we can find solely in maybe somebody is educated or not. That is why we encourage people to come for counseling. That they feel, and counseling nowadays is no more free. I'm not doing free counseling again. I will never forget one day I called 3 other counselors. I was exhausted that day. 4 hours. I was exhausted. I had to run downstairs to get a drink. And I had one woman tell me, Mommy Gio, Mommy Gio, I was like, so you were looking at her, the way you came down, I know, you see people you would do counseling for, that won't even value it. You see people, you devote your time. Talking is not easy. In case if you, what is she doing that she wants to be collecting money? In case you think, then it's not easy. And it is by God's grace, yes. But counseling is not cheap. And you don't think that it's because somebody does not have, that's what is in ministry, that's what she's in ministry, that's what is in ministry. You think lazy people go to ministry? You think I've not taken my time to study before I will just come online? So, let's seek knowledge. Husbands, read books, not only seminars of your office, conferences of your office, not only seminars of your job of cleaning. Let's read books from marriage. The kind of effort and investment we put in our daily routines, in football. Yeah, places in football. You say, hey, Arsenal, this is, you say Nigeria. If you see some husbands analyze football, tell them to analyze their wife. There are some husbands that do not even know you do. If they tell you who is your wife, you say, she's a woman, she's my wife, she's the mother of 3 children. She went to Lautern, and she's working with state government, and that's all. You don't know the nature and the personality of your wife. If they should close some husband's face now and say, yeah, let's do it again. Maybe we should even do it in our upcoming couples hangout. Can you recognize your wife if they close your eyes? You some husbands say, some husbands say, cuckoo kill me. They cannot recognize. So if you say, okay, hug this, let's bring another woman so that you just know. Some husbands will say, it's only if I can hug my wife that I can know if she's the one. Some husbands, even if they hug 10 women, they will be confused. They'll be confused. You know the details about all the footballs. Some husbands, they will tell you the history of their family, tell you the history of their office. They are pure spirited, and they invest a lot about their work, their job, their this. Ask them about their marriage. They might not have even read anything or watch anything. In as much as your job, the things you do, your investment, what you are producing, your firm, your institution, you are investing and you are developing yourself. We need to invest and develop ourselves maritally too. I was speaking with couple to be. So I was asking the brother a question, and I discovered there are some things he did not know. He didn't know. The wife to be has been telling him, but he didn't take it serious. So it was when I now said it, and I invited another co-counselor to, man-to-man talk, and I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I do not know that. Or what she has been saying. I was just like, she's been emphatical and taking things beyond. So he did not know. One can be 45 years old and 50 years old and still not have marital knowledge. As we are seeking knowledge we are doing professional exams, this and this, we should seek knowledge. Even if we are not going to do a physical exam, our day-to-day activities in marriage is our examination. I hope it's not yet 12. 12 past. Okay, let me stop here. Next week, by God's grace and mercy, we are going to start on the B part of the how past trauma shows up in marriage. We are going to start from the B part. So let me note it. We are going to start from the B part. We have done the A part. The A part we did today is an emotional withdrawal, and we have been able to talk more about it. So we're going to take it step by step. Now I've turned the Tuesday program to twice a month because of some engagements. So if you cannot do it next week, by God's, it will be in 2 weeks' time. We are going to start directly from there. And if God gives me the grace, we can have it next week, Tuesday too. So we're going to start on that B part of effect of trauma. How does trauma express itself, the trauma response in us that makes our husbands and our wives, unhappy, and we're going to be going gradual like that till we get to what to do and how to go about it. Please, if you have a traumatic past, or you have a traumatic experience and you have overcome it, I would love to know, I would love to hear from you. How did you overcome it, and what are the effect of it on your marriage? I would love to know. I thank every one of us, all the men, I don't want to be mentioning names, all the men, all the sisters, all the women, all the singles that join. Thank you. God bless you. I appreciate you a lot. Please help me like, share, and comment. Help me to share so that other families can get blessed. God bless you for joining. May the Lord give us peace in all our homes. In Jesus' name.